Over the past 26 years, we have invested nearly $30 million in almost 280 projects. With your help, we shall continue. We are the Tourism Development Corporation,
supporting Barbados's tourism.
For Barbados, we are the product. So when people come to our island, it is not just what they see, it is what they experience. The guests, the tourists that we want to attract to our island have got many, many places to go. We've got to make sure this is the place they want to come.
The TDC being the Tourism Development Corporation, the name speaks for itself. You always need people behind the scenes that can get things done, and TDC is that, helping in marketing efforts both from the BHD and BTA that can fulfill our mandate, which is bringing more heads in beds. The work that they do with activities and attractions to make sure that the quality is up to scratch and that they can deliver the experience that they promise when visitors are here, that is TDC. I work with the Barbados culinary team, and TDC has been instrumental in helping us to grow a lot of our chefs to the point where when you look around at a lot of our restaurants and hotel restaurants or standalone and hotel restaurants, the head chef or the executive chef or the executive sous is a Barbadian. This is the product. You see a lot of these chefs that they have helped owning their own restaurants, owning their own catering businesses, and this is what we're talking about. We're talking about development.
There are two things that we need: the people aspect, the politeness, the being fabulous just to be here around our gracious and polite and friendly people, but it is safety. And the minute we lose that aspect of safety in this country, our tourism is going to fall.
We've also partnered with the BHDA in the establishment of security cameras right up the south coast for the police, and we have assisted with a couple of $100,000 in that. We're looking forward to assisting that project on the west coast.
I would just like to touch on the sports tourism niche. What is going on in this island in terms of sports tourism is very important to us, and those are the events that don't necessarily get the funding, but still are bringing hundreds of people every year. Whether it is hockey, whether it is beach volleyball, it's not just that the locals enjoy it, which they do because they have an opportunity to watch these events, but we're bringing heads in beds to this country.
In the current global economy, to have the highest entry level from our overseas competitors over the last 2 and 3 years is, I think, a sign that the Tourism Development Corporation's involvement with us has borne big fruit. We have, for the last 3 years, been able to secure footage being taken and then compiled by Greenlight Productions out of the UK. They managed to get it onto the ESPN networks, ESPN, Speed TV, that sort of thing. And we had an audience of a potential 700+ million people. Barbados is benefiting because the event advertises Barbados as a tourist destination. The island benefits both through direct spending by the competitors, but also the spectators that come from throughout the region, throughout the Caribbean, and from England and wider Europe, and even from the US this year, to come and watch the event. You know, as the club chairman likes to say, we put bums in beds.
Heritage has been huge for the Tourism Development Corporation. We believe our heritage is important to tourism, to our product, and it's where we have focused a lot of our efforts in the Garrison area, at Gun Hill and others. And I do believe that we have a very unique product in heritage, and TDC will continue to focus on enhancing that. Another one has been, of course, the environment. And we have supported the Turtle Project, if you will, through UE. The turtle experience in Barbados is something that I think that we can be extremely proud of, and I'm talking about the nesting of the turtles on the south coast, and being able to really protect that. It's unique. It's something that all of us, locals and tourists, love to watch, love to know that it's being preserved, that these turtles are being monitored and kept safe. It's what we've supported. We're proud of it. It doesn't seem as direct as perhaps other things that we've done in terms of marketing and so on, but it is essential. And unless we can protect this environment, the experience, which is what makes our product, the experience is diminished.
I have worked with them on many environmental initiatives. In terms of heritage initiatives, I have worked with them in the garrison. From the very beginning, the consortium, the Garrison Consortium, which I represent, has been legally incorporated since 2006. And we worked with the TDC from right back then to develop a strategy to assist with the sustainable development of the historic garrison. All Barbados is indebted to the TDC for their support of good initiatives that are there to help this country benefit.
I think when those group of businessmen formed the TDC back in 86, 87, they would never have dreamed back then that the TDC would be alive today, would be still going today. This was formed really to fill a need. Foreign exchange earnings were waning, promotion of Barbados needed help, and they felt we were coming out of an early 80s recession, and I think they felt, look, let's do this as a boost for tourism because it's really where our future is. Let's do this as a boost. Let's see tourism through for the next little while. I don't think they thought that it would still be in existence 26 years as it is today. The truth is that the needs never go away. If I had to gauge the needs today as opposed to the needs back in the mid-80s, I would say the needs today are more critical. I would say that today it is more critical than ever that companies come on board and contribute because we are seeing a crisis everywhere. And the crisis, unfortunately, is not just here. It's in our major markets. It's been in the US, it's been in the UK, it continues in the UK. We have to work harder than ever to get tourists here, and we have to work harder than ever to make sure that the experience here is what it should be.
Because the TDC is nimble and quick to respond and is able to make a judgment immediately and have the authority within itself to fund these projects, I think that the individuals and the enterprises that engage the TDC for assistance are able to benefit in a very efficient manner.
The funds are managed really, really well, and I think that we have a very good process of assessment and approval. And these are all volunteers from the corporations that are contributing. And we get obviously input from the BHTA and the BTA who are represented on our committees or our board and the Ministry of Tourism because we depend on their expertise. We are business people and we depend on the expertise of those in tourism to guide us as to really where the needs are. We don't have a lot of red tape. We have a group of volunteers who represent the companies who volunteer that meet every month to go through the projects that are before us. Once they're approved at that level, they go to the board. So essentially, within a month or a month and a half, a project could be approved.
As a member, we have the benefit of the government's blessing on 150% tax credit on your contribution, which is up to 2% of your annual revenue, annual income. And it's a nice incentive because it helps to justify spending the money to be a member. But it is also very significant because without the membership, the TDC can't function. Without the members, the TDC has no income. All of us on the TDC are pushing for greater membership so that the TDC can do more. The more money it has, the more things it can do with that money.
Very few businesses can exist in Barbados without the benefits that tourism brings. And that is why it's important that every business in Barbados recognize the value of TDC. I would encourage every business in Barbados, put TDC in your budget, whatever it is, on an annual basis and make sure that you budget contributions to TDC.
Join us at the TDC
and help us
to continue investing in Barbados' future.